Alright, I'm sorry this video took a little bit longer to get it out, but after I got off of work, like a few hours ago, I didn't have any of what was needed, and I'll get into it when I get to the figure that I'm going to be showing off. I'll point it out when I get to it. Anyway, so I had to grind to get 60 of those. I grinded for 61 just in case I could use the editor to just get 99 of them whenever I got done. Fortunately, that is not the case. I'm going to have to wait for the editor to get updated. Pretty much everybody playing this on PC who uses the save editor is going to have to wait for that to get updated, unfortunately. And other than that, they've added a crap ton new artwork to the raid events, which I was praying and hoping that they wouldn't. There's another mascot in the raid event. I don't know if I'm ready to deal with all that. I have a feeling I'm probably just going to be better off waiting a couple of weeks or so for the save editor to get updated. Anyway, I've talked on long enough. Let's get into the new figures. So I'm just going to mainly show off all of the new UR figures we got. All maxed out 10 out of 10 at attack, just so you can see what those are like. We have Janemba, and he has two very good trigger squares. I am definitely going to be adding him into one of my main decks. He has a really safe spot right behind Vados. Let's take a look at his opposing skill real quick. I actually haven't read over any of these yet. So let's see. Place it on trigger square for plus 10% to damage taken by all opponents. Very good. Apparently that's repeatable. That's pretty nuts. And survive a fatal attack with 1 HP, once only. He's already a very, very good figure. If own HP is at 10% or lower at the end of the turn, plus 1500 attack and plus 20% ultimate attack damage. That is insane. This is a very good figure. I'm glad they made UR Janemba very overpowered. Then we just have another stat spread here, which is not as good. Has less HP to work with, has more speed, which is okay. Has a little bit more defense, less HP. Yeah, I think you're going to be best just sticking with this one, running him in like an SEC deck. Next up we have a new UR sub, which I was not expecting at all. So let's see, place it on a trigger square to reduce the defense of the ally to the rear by 150. But plus 700 to own attack. Plus 9999 to own speed after turn order has been decided. So basically it's kind of like UI Goku. He's going to be aiming to go first once the turn order has been decided. Stacks during that turn only, plus 50% to own ultimate attack gauge at the end of the turn. That's not bad. The only thing is, he's got kind of low HP. The other one that has even lower HP than that has less attack. He's got a lot of defense, which is not bad. You're probably going to be better off trying to outspeed, though. This figure kind of shoots its own, execution in the foot because it doesn't have anything to go behind. It has to go in front, and that is its major downside. I'm sure plenty of others will find some use out of it. You could probably even stack this with Endazi Goku and Vados. That's something you could do to more easily, get his figures off, but then you run into the issue of neither Vados or Endazi Goku have a spot in the lower left. So you're probably going to have to pick and choose your battles with that one. You're probably only going to be able to really utilize Vados and Cell here with someone like maybe Super Saiyan God Goku. That'd probably be a good option. Other than that, a little bit underwhelming, but not terrible though. Then we have the new Frieza UR figure in a final form. Place on trigger square for minus 10% defense and minus 15% speed to all opponents. Minus 5% to opponent's ultimate attack gauge at the end of the turn when going first, when going second. Minus 15% attack and minus 10% speed to all opponents. Minus 10% to opponent's ultimate attack gauge at the end of the turn. You got all that? Good, because neither did I. He's all over the place. Obviously use 536 for a speed deck. probably going to want to use this in an SEC deck. Same spots as Janemba, which kind of sucks, because now you're going to have to make a choice. Do you pick this or do you pick Janemba? You're probably just going to be better off going with Janemba, honestly. He's got a lot more going for him. And we have the new UR Super Vegeta. Place on trigger square to add 3% to own Master's max HP to own attack. Repeatable, defeat an opponent for minus 10% to the opponent's Master defense. So this essentially takes 3%, I want to say, of your Master's HP. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. Place on trigger square to add 3% of own Master's max HP. You're going to take 3% of your own HP and then put that onto your own attack on this figure, and that is repeatable. And when you defeat an opponent, you subtract 10% to the opponent's Master defense. That doesn't appear to be repeatable. I think that would just be broken. It might stack, because the more opponents you defeat, the more it would, hurt their Master. So it might work that way. I don't know. No, though. I haven't really bothered to test any of these new figures out yet. I was pretty much just grinding to get all the, one of the new things they introduced, UR chips. Yes, they introduced R chips, they introduced SR chips, and UR chips. The UR ones are for two of the only new EX figures we got. We're not there yet, we'll get there in just a sec here. Next we have Piccolo, the new UR Piccolo. That's very surprising. He only has a spot in the bottom left. That's good. That would actually be really good with Cell, I think. So let's see, plus 700 defense to all allies once only. So it's only once, but that's pretty huge. This effect only applies to allies with a defense of 1,000 or lower. So they have to have lower than 1,000 defense for it to work, unfortunately. Additionally, add 5% of all figures attack to own defense after turn order has been decided once only. So scratch that. This is kind of a not very good figure to use in SEC teams. I wouldn't really bother with this figure. Just going out for that opposing skill. That's just me, though. And then, thankfully, we have a new UR Blue Evolution Vegeta. I'm really happy we got that, even though we only have 2 different UI Goku figures. And by the way, if anyone's wondering, I already voted for Dispo. And if you're not voting for Dispo, I'm sorry, in my opinion, you're kind of fucking everyone over. Like everyone else over. I'm sure the same can be said about each other character. But you have to think, we already have Jiren, we just got Toppo, it makes sense to get Dispo. Now I get people wanting either UI Omen Sign Goku or GT Vegeta, but here's the thing, we already have mastered Ultra Instinct Goku in the game. We already have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta in the game. What's the point? And then Tracksuit 18 should just already be in the game. She's long overdue in my opinion. They should have just made her a preset. We only saw her do like maybe one new move with Krillin when he was bouncing that red, blast back and forth. They had this one dude in between them. Anyway, this is turning into a rant video. I'll stop there. Just to finish that off, I will say, it should be between Dispo and Bergamo. That's just me. You'd only be voting for either one of those two. Anyway, I'll stop ranting about that now. So, new Blue Evolution Vegeta UR figure. Next on trigger square to cancel effects inflicted by the opponent after turn order has been decided. Wait a minute. Okay, that's actually not too bad. Again, only issue, he only goes in the front. After turn order has been decided. If an attacked opponent's attack is higher than this unit's, plus 700 to own attack. I don't know why they made it that way, they should have just made that repeatable. That would have been so good, but okay. I suppose if you're going to want to use this figure, you're more than likely going to be better off using, the second version, just so you can go first, you'll have attack to build up, etc. It has more defense. Yeah, it has less HP. You can easily build up the attack back up, though. You might be better off using this one in an SEC deck, if you could somehow make that work. But that relies on your opponent having, obviously, really high attacks on their figures. I think this is, you know, their idea of trying to balance the game more. Because a lot of the overpowered figures we got have obnoxiously high attack stats. But I think Vados already more than makes up for that. And same with Toa. So I don't know why they're putting these in just now. Then we have Pycon. He got 2 UR figures, just like Supreme Kai of Time did. So let's see, this one. Place it on trigger square to attack 2 opponents in the same column, repeatable, so you can keep doing that. That's not bad. Minus 300 to own speed, and minus 320 defense to all opponents. 1.2 times own attack, stacks during that turn only. Placed partner, Vegeta, Super Saiyan 1. So, plus 50% to it, damage dealt by all allies. Stacks during that turn only. That is a very specific figure. I'm probably not going to be using this one. So far, I'm not going to lie, a lot of the new figures I've seen, kind of underwhelming. Unfortunately, it's looking to be a repeat of last update. Then here we go, we have the other Pycon. Let's look at him. Place on a trigger square for plus 1000 to attack and speed. Stacks during that turn only. That's actually very good for this one, because he's already getting out 3000 speed, and I haven't duped entirely into attack. That's going to get him another 1000. Got real decent HP. He's got, just average, below average even defense. Still not terrible, though. I'd say all around, look, stat-wise, he's good. And then let's see. Place 2 units or 1.5 times to own attack and defense for the turn. Place after turn 3 to deal damage that ignores opponent's defense. So you essentially have to wait. And if you want to fully utilize him, you're only going to place just him and one other unit. Pretty sure that's how it works. So he would actually work very well with O2 decks. Like, for example, you put him right in front of Super Saiyan 4 Goku. That's another thing you can do. But then you're losing defense to the Master. You're probably better off just using Piccolo. Kind of a math figure again, in my opinion. And then here we have Toppo. I already kind of knew this one was going to be underwhelming, because I was able to, like, look at some of the leaks. So, this is probably going to be the better version you're going to want to use. This version you don't even want to bother with. Look at where his trigger square is, though. And that's his only one. That's the problem. Why would you use him when you can use Vados and put Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegeta right behind her? You don't need Toppo, in my opinion. So that already pretty much ruins him. But anyway, his trigger square, plus 2000 to own attack, and plus 5% to damage dealt, stacks during that turn only. Attack an opponent, plus 350 to own attack. And when ultimate attack gauge is at 80% or higher, directly attack the opponent's master. That last part actually isn't bad. Because let's say that you're not able to ult at all, you're just kind of screwed, you really need to, like, go after their master. You're not able to, like, break through some of their figures. So, theoretically, you could have him in the upper right, and then you could maybe have NZ Goku in the upper left, Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the bottom middle. These are just examples. You need to block for your master who's almost dead. Your opponent's not letting you use your ultimate. That can work out in your favor. Come to think of it, this would actually work very well with the second Omega Shenron we got, so that is certainly an option. And you wouldn't have to worry about needing to ult the opponent at all. You can do that. Just make sure that you're able to obviously decrease your opponent's ultimates each turn. Otherwise, you're probably going to be screwed. So maybe he could theoretically work well with the second Omega Shenron. I'm probably not going to test that out, though. I might not. It depends whether or not people want to see it, I guess. Then we already have these. I don't need to really worry about these guys. Let me just see something here. I completely forgot why I even have 2 of these. Okay, so here we go. this is one of the limit breaks you'll have to worry about. So, the new Super Gogeta figure we got, you're gonna need 40 altogether if you want to limit break him into the EX versions. Now, let's look at his trigger square. I want to say it's different. Let's see. Place on trigger square to add 3%. Okay, so no, that looks like it's the same. Defeat opponent. Join left next during that turn only. Okay, so yeah, that looks like it's the same thing. The stats are just a bit better. And then, you're not gonna believe this. This is the other EX figure we got. Don't understand why they're doing that just now. And yes, this is the only other EX UR figure in the game that we have. Overall, I would say this update was kind of hit and miss. Got only a couple of useful figures out of it, I would say. Janemba, Pycon, theoretically Toppo if you can get him to work. Vegeta just hurts your master. That's planning to fail if you ask me. Cell I can't see working all too well. Frieza I can't see working all too well. The first Piccolo they got just right. I don't know why they bothered with this one. I'm still surprised that we don't have a nice Shenron. We don't have a Nova Shenron. We have neither of them. But let's go over the rest of the list here. So let me know what you all think below. I'm personally very disappointed with this update. And I really don't feel like driving myself freaking mad during the raids. I'm gonna wait a couple of weeks or so, and hopefully the save editor by then has been updated. I might do a few here and there in my spare time if I got nothing better to do, but that's a big if, even then. I don't feel like grinding the new parallel quest to get all the artwork. Probably just gonna be better off waiting for the save editor to get updated. And speaking of that, huge shout again to my buddy QB4Square for uploading those CPK files for me. That really helps me out. Saves a lot of time on grinding and everything. Tomorrow morning, I'm essentially going to be able to just buy all the new skills, all the new equipment, all the accessories, if any, super souls. I'll even get the few costume early. And obviously, again, huge thank you and shout out to Unleashed. I had to do some editing. I had to do a little bit of grinding. I had to do some things here and there on my end, but without him, I wouldn't be able to get this video up as soon as I did. And I feel for anyone praying to RNGesus trying to get the rest of these figures legitimately, and also having to worry about the EX limit breaking, because yes, they added more that you will need to EX limit break, besides just the UR Frieza I showed off. We'll actually be getting to that soon enough here. This latest update gave us 70 new figures. So if you watched the trailer, you probably already know that. One other small quirk I've noticed, and this is to do with the Hero Coliseum figure editor. I don't know if it's been updated at all, but whenever I tried to use it and change it into any of the EX figures, and then I load up the save file, I essentially lose those slots if those figures are locked, because they won't show up on the table after, and I can't, look at them to unlock them and then get rid of them. So I essentially made more work for myself with not realizing that. So maybe that tool could use an update or two. Just a suggestion, that way you can not worry about that. It'll also work for EX figures. I have them all on the list, no problem. It won't work for the figure editor. And also, I'm still wondering when you feel that you would want to do that, because I know you said you wanted the dual Unleashed, so again, I'm up for that. Just message, leave a comment, whatever, we'll figure it out. Obviously, you have my Discord. And also go check out Rock and Robo. I unfortunately haven't had a lot of time to go and look at his tournament. I think I only watched maybe the first couple episodes. That's all I've had time for. I've been working a lot of overtime recently, and unfortunately, I'm going back to the office next week. Not too happy about it. Anyway, we're just finishing up with all the new figures here. So you can get SR Toppo and you can limit break him into the UR. So he's going to be a bit easier to get. Pycon you can easily build into. I think Vegeta is exclusively UR. I gotta go back and look at a few of these real quick. They also added new character skills. Alright, so we've already seen 21. Let's skip past these. Okay, here we go. Vegeta. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much everybody, though. Here's Captain Ginyu. Pause anywhere if you want to see his skills. You EX limit break into him. I don't know why you would want to. But, do the same with Frieza here. I want to say that's it. No, okay, there's also one for Trunks. I completely forgot about Trunks. I want to say there's also one for Goten, Lord Slug, Cooler Final Form. Forgot the other one. There's even one for Krillin, surprisingly. In my opinion, it's too little too late for the EX mechanic, and it just makes more work than necessary. Here we go, Lord Slug. I want to say Jocko was another? Form Cooler. Okay, no, that was it. So no Jocko. Oh, no. Completely skipped over him without even realizing it. Oops. Anyway, that's Jocko. Now let's go to the shop really quick just to show off new skills they implemented. I'll just slowly go down the list here. I want to say starting here is where the new ones came in. You could probably look at them yourself, no problem, on the list. See, what else did they add here that was new? I think I skipped past a few of them, so these are the new ones that came in, I know that. And I think I just now remembered where the other ones I'm missing are. They have blue heart symbols, I'm trying to look for those. Okay, I don't know why I wouldn't let me move there. There we go. Place when own HP is at 50% or lower to recover 50% of own HP at the end of the turn, once only. So if you want to stack these, you can essentially make up for that. Let's see, place when own HP is at 50% or lower to recover 25% of own HP. So that's nice. They actually put it in heals for your master, essentially. Or is this for figures? I don't know. Let's see, place when own HP. So it's probably just for the figures. I'm gonna guess you have to be at level 50 or lower, or maybe that's the 50 is just because when you get below 50% HP, then you do the recovery. This is probably only for the figures. It'd be nice if they gave that to the master too, but they already broke that with Toa. Anyway, I'm done yanking my hat off. Let me know what y'all think about the new figures below. Personally, again, I'm real disappointed. But regardless, I hope you enjoyed. And look forward to new content in the future. I'll see you later. Peace.